60. That's 65 years of this luncheon recognizing distinguished leaders in journalism and strategic communication and crowning a National Writing Award winner. I'd like to thank Gary Graham, who is one of our alum, for helping keep this tradition going. Today, I believe we have more students with us for the event than ever before. We're very excited to welcome all of our amazing students. Immediately following the luncheon, you're invited to the National Writing Award Lecture with Jeff Seidel in room 125 of the Letterman Building. That's right next to the Letterman lobby, if you're familiar with the Letterman Building and its lobby, where he will be sharing his valuable insights. We're very excited to have him with us. And also, there'll be a student networking opportunity where everyone is invited to Unified Media Lab at 3 p.m. today with the opportunity to connect alumni, students, and faculty, everyone to come together to engage. And we are very excited to have you here with us for this event and the other events throughout the day. At Ball State University, we are very fortunate to have two very influential friends of the student press in President Jeffrey Mearns and Jennifer Mearns, who are here with us today. So thank you, President Mearns and Jennifer Mearns, for your attendance here. And to kick off the day, it is my honor to introduce our president, Dr. Jeffrey Mearns.
Thanks, Johnny, and good morning, everyone. Johnny, if you're able to plan football victories, we're going to engage you more frequently than we have in the past. As Johnny said, I have the good fortune to serve you as the president here at Ball State University, and Jennifer and I are also fortunate to be able to join you once again this year for this program. It's an important program, it's an important day because we come together to celebrate journalists and strategic communicators who are making significant contributions to their field and significant contributions to the many people whom they serve. We're also reaffirming today, the enduring commitment of Ball State University, the commitment to professional and scholastic journalism, as well as the evolution of our university's approach to training effective strategists and compelling storytellers. This year, as you see in the program, we're also honoring the recipient of our National Journalism Writing Award, Jeff Seidel, who is here with us today. He is a veteran correspondent for the Detroit Free Press, and he's known for his compelling and empathetic journalism. And we're fortunate that he's here with us today, and as Johnny said, he'll have an opportunity to speak today and share some insights with our students. Thank you, and congratulations to Jeff and to all of our other award recipients today. So if you've had a chance to read a little bit about Jeff's history, he works for a newspaper that has been published for more than 190 years. The Detroit Free Press, that's the kind of longevity that's a reflection of that newspaper's impact on its readers and to the newspaper's record as a trusted source of objective news and information for the community that it serves. As we all know, journalism is in a time of great flux in our country and around the world. Confidence in traditional media is probably at an all-time low. Traditional media is under pressure on all sides. The internet has disrupted everything from traditional journalism, from traditional business models, and to how we receive our news. I suspect every one of you has in your pocket or in your purse or on your table one of those pesky little cell phones, right? And as a result of that technology, more people feel entitled to call themselves citizen journalists. reporting on local events, and reshaping how information gets shared online with people all around the world. The challenge, really, though, about these citizen journalists is that they generally lack the training, including about ethical standards. They lack the training that defines the work of professional journalists, including the work of the career journalists who are here with us this morning. Fair reporting, as you know, should follow some important rules, some important principles that are the bedrock upon which we build our journalism and strategic communications programs here at Ball State. In our CCIM, we provide our students with professional training that they need, along with access to innovative technology and really trusted and experienced mentors and teachers. These are valuable resources that give them a competitive advantage in terms of quality, objectivity, and credibility. We connect our graduates also to alumni working in media across the country and often around the world, from established news outlets to emerging startups that are dedicated to local journalism. And despite the substantial reductions in state and federal funding, here at Ball State, we are still committed to Ball State Public Media to provide the objective journalism and the important information and entertainment that is needed by our friends and neighbors all across East Central Indiana. We will retain that commitment. So as we prepare to induct new members into our Journalism Hall of Fame, and as we present several other awards to deserving graduates and industry leaders, we recognize the impact of our people and our programs on preserving the role of trusted, responsible media in our democracy. And we celebrate, notwithstanding the skepticism, we celebrate the ways in which our faculty will continue to innovate in the classroom while empowering our graduates to embrace the emerging challenges as opportunities to reshape the positive future of their profession, and perhaps most importantly, to preserve our democracy. So thank you very much for allowing me and Jennifer to join you, and I look forward to the meal and the program. Thank you.
Okay, so today we're doing things a bit differently. We have the service in the area outside, and so we will be dismissing tables, but there are a few notes that I would like to share. If you are one of our gluten-free guests, please ask someone who is serving for your plate or for your choices. Also, as soon as everyone is seated, that's when we will start our program. We will be dismissing by tables, and the first 4 tables, tables 1, 2, 3, and 4, will now be dismissed. So as soon as you are able to get your food, return to your tables, then we will start the awards program. Thank you. Okay. Please continue to enjoy your lunch as we're now ready to begin the awards program. I would also like to welcome another honored guest here today. Provost Maury is here today. Let's give him a round of applause. Provost Maury, as I understand, has a bit of bitterness because he cannot compete with our next guest today in the Dean's free throw shootout. Because in the College of Communication, Information, and Media, we have the reigning Dean free throw shootout champion. And I'm honored to introduce the Dean of the College of Communication, Information, and Media, the reigning Dean shootout free throw champion, Dr. Kristen McAuliffe.
Thank you. No one was more surprised than me when that worked out. Hi, everyone. I, along with our faculty, our staff, our students, we are so excited to welcome many of you back to campus and welcome some of you for the first time to campus. The CCIM College, I think we love the Journalism Luncheon Day. It's such a wonderful opportunity to show off what we do, to introduce you to our fabulous network, and to just celebrate, I think, what has been built here in CCIM. Over the last 15 months as Dean, I've really gotten to know the SJSC community a lot better. And everyone I meet is generous and inquisitive. And actually, when I typed up these remarks, my computer auto-corrected inquisitive to inquisition. And I think that's accurate as well. And I just am so grateful to be a part of a culture of people who are curious, dedicated to wonderful and culturally relevant storytelling, and who take the time to nurture generations of students who come after them. And so I want to just thank Dr. Johnny Sparks and his team for pulling us all together today and for all the work that goes into this event so we can celebrate that. Because today's event is a culmination and a celebration of that culture. And so I don't want to hold us up anymore. I just want to get to it. And so I'm going to introduce, I think, Dr. Natalie Seeley to move us forward in the program. So thanks, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Seeley, an associate professor here at SJSC. For 65 years, the school has recognized exceptional journalists with the National Writing Award. This year, we are pleased to present this award to Jeff Seidel of the Detroit Free Press. For the past 27 years, Seidel has covered everyday people facing extraordinary times. He specializes in human interest narratives, spending up to a year at a time working to tell people's stories. Jeff's year-long coverage of Amity Dewey, a woman who survived a horrific act of violence that changed her life forever, goes beyond one single event and captures the ongoing process of healing and resilience. A National Headliner Award winner, he's covered 3 Olympic Games and actively covers sports for the Detroit Free Press. He's also a 3-time finalist for the Livingston Award and a 4-time APSE winner, placing top 10 in the nation in sports column writing and feature writing. Congratulations, Jeff. It's my pleasure to present you with this award. Thank you for the work that you do. Please join us at the podium.
Thank you very much. Congratulations on the free throws. This has been incredible, and this is an incredible honor. But I also want to thank the Free Press. They give me a lot of time to tell these stories at a time when it just doesn't happen. And I want to thank Amity. She opened up her story to us, and that's the most important thing. So thank you guys very much.
Congratulations, Jeff. Today, we are proud to honor Casey Smith, senior reporter for the Indiana Capital Chronicle. A lifelong Hoosier, Casey's career exemplifies the highest standards of journalism. Among her many accomplishments, in collaboration with Katie Rush, Casey was a finalist for the 2025 Pulitzer Prize in Local Reporting for their two-part investigative series, Right to Remain Secret. The series exposed how dozens of California law enforcement agencies use secret settlement agreements to conceal misconduct. Right to Remain Secret also earned the pair the 2025 Goldsmith Prize for Investigative Reporting, the 2025 Selden Ring Award for Investigative Reporting, the 2024-25 George Polk Award for Justice Reporting. Those are all really big national awards. In recognition of their impact, Time Magazine named Casey and Katie to the 2025 Time 100 Next list of emerging leaders shaping the future, celebrating them among the world's most influential rising stars. Beyond these national honors, Casey holds a master's degree in investigative reporting and narrative science writing from the University of California, Berkeley Graduate School of Journalism, and undergraduate degrees in journalism, anthropology, and Spanish from Ball State University, where she was also editor-in-chief of the Ball State Daily News. Before joining the Indiana Capital Chronicle, she covered the Indiana legislature for the Associated Press and continues to give back to her alma mater as an SJSC instructor and member of the Alumni Society Executive Board. For her outstanding contributions to Indiana journalism and for empowering future journalists to uphold honesty, courage, and public service, we proudly present the Indiana Journalism Award to Casey Smith.
Thanks. That one was for our parents, so thank you. I don't have much to say, but thank you, of course. It's very humbling. We've had an incredible year this last year. We've been all over the country after the story published a year ago, the story that Dr. Sparks referenced, which started, by the way, for the students here as a story that Katie and I worked on as graduate students at Berkeley. It went on for several years after that. There was a lot of reporting, and Katie was really the engine behind it in the last few years. And I think the biggest thing for us, we're so grateful for all the recognition that we've gotten, but mostly because the story that we fought so hard to report and to get out there to folks, it's getting more eyes on it. And just this past month changed California law. So that's why we do this, and yeah. So really grateful to be back here. This is where I cut my teeth, and glad to be back in Indiana, and this is my home, so I'm not going anywhere. And I hope to all the students here that you are inspired by this and you come and take my job and become my editor soon, so thank you.
Fittingly, we are honored to also welcome as our distinguished guest, Katie Rush, who with Casey Smith co-authored the extraordinary multinational award-winning investigative series, Right to Remain Secret, in the San Francisco Chronicle. In recognition of her exceptional investigative achievement, her courage in tackling institutional power, and her contribution to journalism that advances public accountability and justice, we are proud to recognize Katie Rush. Now we are honored to recognize one of Indiana's most trusted voices in journalism, Brad Bird. A proud Ball State University alumnus, Brad anchored Evansville's Eyewitness News for more than 4 decades, earning a reputation for integrity, credibility, and compassion in storytelling. Throughout his distinguished career, he has received numerous awards, including multiple regional Emmy Awards, a National Edward R. Murrow Award for a story and report that included the legendary Steve Bell, and top honors from the Associated Press and the Society of Professional Journalists. He is a member of the Indiana Broadcasters Hall of Fame and the NATAS Gold Circle, recognizing 50 years in broadcast journalism. And he has also been inducted into both the Indiana Journalism Hall of Fame and the National Academy of Television Arts Silver Circle Hall of Fame. Beyond the anchor desk, Brad has demonstrated a lifelong commitment to his community, co-founding the Cruising for Hearts fundraiser, hosting the Easter Seals Telethon for decades, and supporting organizations such as the American Heart Association and United Way. It all started at WIPB and in television roles in Indianapolis and Fort Wayne in the early 1970s. For his decades of service to journalism, mentorship of emerging professionals, and his unwavering dedication to the public good, we are proud to honor Brad Bird.
Thank you very much, Johnny, and thank you all for being here today. I'm extremely, in some ways, embarrassed at seeing all of the talent, all of the young people here. I can honestly say, in these troubling times of journalism, thanks to the people I saw at the UML yesterday, the young people working on those platforms, I think our future is going to be okay. I was told to keep this under 2 minutes. That's like 4 trips across the scramble light, so here we go. I got hooked on journalism when I was a teenager, especially in those latter years of the 1968 presidential election. 50 years ago, in 2018, back to 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King, of course, was assassinated, taken from us. Robert F. Kennedy was literally on campus here that day, speaking to about 9,000 people at the old Irving Gym. He found out about MLK while he was in Muncie, and he had a scheduled trip to Indianapolis. He was scheduled to speak at a rally that night. He was running for president. This would have been in April. In Indianapolis at 17th and Broadway, a predominantly black neighborhood. Then Mayor Lugar, the late Senator Richard Lugar, urged him, please, we can't guarantee your safety. RFK said, I'm gonna go anyway. He gave an incredible, off-the-cuff, 7-minute speech. And it has often been attributed to be one of the greatest speeches of the 20th century, and because of that speech, Indianapolis did not burn that night. 2 months later, Steve Bell was on the stage at the Ambassador Hotel. He had covered the Indiana primary. Steve was there covering for ABC Radio, June 4th, 1968. If you look, just Google up, look at RFK Ambassador Victory Speech. You'll see a man just to RFK's right, correct, yes, his right. That's Steve Bell. We were able to talk to Steve in 2018. My good friend Stan Sollers, who many of you know, brought him to Indianapolis to the park, and we talked about the importance of that speech and what it did for politics in Indiana, how history can change everything. And we were very fortunate to win that National Edward R. Murrow Award, and what I wanted to do, had it not been for Steve, that probably wouldn't have happened. So we dedicated the Murrow Award to him in his honor. And I believe it's sitting up at TCOM somewhere in a case. But I think the students here get it. History is so very important as far as context goes, and that's why I was so enlightened to meet so many wonderful young people at the UML yesterday. It was great. Thank you so much. It's great to be back. I never have really severed my roots with Ball State, but it was very, very, very enlightening, and I'm very, very honored to be here today. Thank you so much.
The Anton Majeri Award honors innovation and leadership in graphic journalism. This year's recipient is Denise Reagan. For more than 3 decades, Denise has built an impressive career leading media organizations, nonprofits, and creative projects across journalism and design. A journalism graduate of the University of Florida, she began in visual design and newsroom leadership, holding roles including assistant managing editor at the Florida Times-Union, editor of Folio Weekly, and communications director at the Museum of Contemporary Art, Jacksonville. She later served as the executive director of the Garden Club of Jacksonville, guiding its rebranding and expansion of community programs. In 2025, Denise received the Society for News Design Lifetime Achievement Award, the organization's highest individual honor, recognizing her lasting influence in visual journalism and design leadership. Denise's work demonstrates the power of visual storytelling to inform, engage, and inspire. For her innovation and leadership in graphic journalism, we proudly present the Anton Majeri Award to Denise Reagan. Congratulations, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Unlike RFK, I have notes. I am overwhelmed by this incredible honor to receive an award named for the great Tony Majeri, someone I idolized during my career in journalism. Is incredibly humbling. I learned about the long list of previous recipients for this award, and I can say I am proud to say that I call them friends and colleagues. I'm speechless. And yet, I will try to say a few words. Luckily, that's in my script. My purpose has always been to tell stories. Whether I was a rookie page designer at the News Sentinel in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which I started in 1990, or leading the newsroom at the Florida Times-Union in Jacksonville, Florida, my hometown, I wanted to tell stories in the best way possible. When I transitioned from journalism to nonprofits, I continued to share stories about things like arts and museums, or gardening and the community. Now, as the executive director of the Five and Dime Theater Company, I embody our mission to tell stories that engage, inspire, entertain, and challenge audiences. Not a bad gig for a recovering journalist. People often ask me if I miss working in newsrooms. I don't miss the oppressive deadlines, the grueling schedules, the all-encompassing nature of a job that inhabited every fiber of my being. What I do miss are the stories and the people that I had the privilege of collaborating with to tell them. Those rewarding relationships are what I remember very fondly. One of those relationships is sitting in the audience today. Patrick Garvin was my very first hire at the Florida Times-Union. Next year marks 20 years of friendship that he and I have sustained. I'm so grateful he made the trip from St. Louis to join me here today. In a world where the tsunami of AI is poised to subsume all of our crafts, I hope those kinds of relationships are still the foundation of journalism in the future. We need that humanity to infuse the work that is crucial to informing the people who desperately need it. At a time when governments are actively working to rewrite the past, silence freedom of speech, and dramatically dismantle our future, we need journalism to hold the powerful accountable and inform the people who are being affected. I think we can all agree on that. My deepest thanks go to everyone at the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication for recognizing me and my contributions to the field of journalism, that you dug me out of the annals of history to do that. Thank you. Thank you all for being here to help me celebrate this magical milestone in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Now I would like to invite Dr. Martin Smith Rodden, Senior Lecturer in the school, to the podium for two special presentations.
Michael first.
Sure.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Hi, everyone. We are honored to recognize Michael M. Santiago with the Joseph Costa Courtroom Photography Award for his 2024 coverage of the hush money trial of then former President Donald Trump. Michael Santiago, staff photojournalist with Getty Images, was a member of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette team that received the 2019 Pulitzer Prize for breaking news reporting for its powerful and compassionate coverage of the Tree of Life Synagogue tragedy in Pittsburgh. The Pulitzer judges praised the team's work for capturing the anguish and resilience of a community thrust into grief. Throughout his career, Michael has used his lens, attached to his camera, to explore the vital issues including health, race, and identity, as well as family relationships and youth empowerment. His photography has been featured in some of the nation's most respected publications, among them ProPublica, the New York Times, Slate, The Guardian, ESPN's The Undefeated, oops, PBS NewsHour, Scientific American, and the San Francisco Chronicle. He has also collaborated with major news outlets such as National Geographic, Smithsonian Magazine, BuzzFeed News, and Bloomberg, and was one of 4 contributing photographers for WNET's acclaimed series, Chasing the Dream, Poverty and Opportunity in America. Michael earned his Bachelor of Science from the S.I. Newhouse School of Public Communication at Syracuse University and his Bachelor of Fine Arts from the San Francisco Art Institute. For his outstanding service in photojournalism with special contributions to news photography, the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication presents the Joseph Costa Award to Michael M. Santiago. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
Sorry, my speech just disappeared. We live in a time when there's no, I'm sorry. I'm a photographer, not a speaker, so We live in a time when there's never been more information in our hands and simultaneously more doubt about what's real. People are not just asking what happened anymore. They're asking, can I trust what I'm seeing? That question matters most in our courts, the place where democracy continues to be tested in real time. Courtrooms are where the state brings its power against an individual, and sometimes that's where they're powerful are finally held accountable like everyone else. If the public can't see that process, they're asked to take it all in faith. Joseph Costa understood that before most people did. As the founder of the National Press Photographers Association, he believed that the public's right to know shouldn't stop at the courtroom door. He argued that with ethics, restraint, and respect, cameras could serve justice, not disrupt it. Joseph saw the camera as something sacred, not an intruder, but a quiet witness. I carry that belief into my own work. From the criminal trial of, at that time, the former President Donald Trump, to now in the narrow halls outside of our immigration courts. In both places, I have seen how access has defined the truth. Without cameras, without witness, those moments vanish and denial takes their place. In those hallways, I have seen fathers and mothers taken away as their children cry, not understanding why. Without our presence, someone will always say it isn't happening. Our images make that denial impossible. A single honest frame won't end misinformation, but it can anchor the conversation in something real. That's why the fight for our open courts isn't just about one trial or one headline. It's about the public's right to see justice and bear witness. To the photographers and students here, keep pushing for access, but be the kind of professionals who deserve it. Learn the rules and question your instincts. When you raise your camera, ask yourself, does this frame inform or does it inflame? And to everyone else, support independent journalism. Read the captions, ask where the images come from, because when the public can't see justice, democracy begins to go blind. Thank you.
Hi, me again. So it's an honor to recognize and very deeply and sincerely thank veteran Associated Press photojournalist Susan Walsh, who is with us today representing Women Photojournalists of Washington, otherwise known as WPOW, the remarkable organization that partnered with Ball State to bring us this year's WPOW exhibition. Susan has given our students a real gift over the last 2 days, sharing not only her images and stories, but also her time and her tremendous insights about the profession. Yesterday alone, she visited 3 classes, presented her work at the Unified Media Lab, then stayed for a more than 2-hour coaching for the students of the NPPA chapter, one-on-one. That kind of mentorship is as rare as it is generous. For more than 37 years, including 34 of them at the Associated Press, Susan has told the story of America with honesty and passion, covering presidents from Carter to Trump, 5 Olympic Games, countless historic moments. Her lens has been a witness to history, and her integrity has helped preserve the public's trust in photojournalism. Only 2 months ago, she was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from the the White House Press Photographers Association, which she used to be a president of. Susan, your visit and your kindness has inspired all of us. Thank you so much for your leadership, your commitment to truth, and your generosity in sharing all of your experiences and wisdom and passion with the next generation of visual storytellers. We are so grateful and honored to have learned from you.
I wasn't expecting I was going to be speaking. Thank you so much. It was truly, truly a pleasure to meet with all the students. I spent so much time, but I got so much energy back from everyone. They asked lots of great questions, and so just like Brad said, I agree that the future of journalism seems a lot brighter than I may have expected from all my time in Washington, where it is a little troubled right now. So thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure to be a part of this, so thank you very much. Not used to being on this side of things, but.
Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Tyson Bird to the podium.
Hi, everyone. The John R. Emmons Award for Support of a Free Student Press honors individuals who have demonstrated exceptional commitment to upholding a free student press on their campus. This year, we are proud to recognize Betsy Meyer from Ball State University's School of Journalism and Strategic Communication as the recipient of this distinguished award. Betsy serves as the Unified Media Creative Director for the agency at Cardinal Media, formerly known as the McKinley Avenue Agency, a strategic communications, media, and sales agency offering students hands-on experience across journalism, advertising, public relations, and multimedia design. When Betsy began her work more than a decade ago, student media funding at Ball State relied heavily on print advertising revenue. Maybe this sounds familiar to you. Recognizing the shifting media landscape, she proactively launched the McKinley Avenue Agency to diversify revenue streams, cultivate new partnerships, and ensure the long-term financial stability of student media operations. Thanks to her leadership, Ball State student journalism has remained financially stable. While many universities have shuttered student media or abandoned print among declining print ad sales, Ball State has embraced innovation in digital journalism and strategic communication to generate new revenue and sustain what some might call legacy platforms. Under Betsy's leadership, the agency has won multiple awards and consistently provided students with real-world experiences that bring together classroom learning and professional practice. She has also been instrumental in building bridges between advertising and editorial inside Ball State student media. Betsy possesses a rare ability to balance the independence and importance of a free press with the realities of the media business. Let me put it this way: our industry would be in a much different place if more people thought and worked like Betsy Meyer. Please join me in congratulating Betsy Meyer, a proud alumnus of our school, whose innovation, leadership, and dedication embody the spirit of the John R. Emmons Award for a Free Student Press.
Michael, I'm with you. I try to stay behind the scenes, so bear with me here. And I took everything out of my remarks that might make me a little bit teary, and I was not told that Tyson was going to be introducing me, one of my first students when I joined Ball State. So thank you, my friend. And we need our glasses. I'm honored to receive an award named for President Emmons, who understood that a free student press isn't just about journalism. It's about preparing students to be informed citizens and ethical professionals. To be honest, when I was nominated, I had to think long and hard about why I deserved this honor. You never see yourself the way others do. You just do the work. So here's the work that matters to me and what I absolutely believe. We need journalists. People need access to news and information. I may be on the business side now, but I spent 18 years in newsrooms across the country. There's nothing quite like being in a newsroom when a big story breaks. I was also there through much of their decline, and it was a heartbreaking experience. But I absolutely believe that Ball State CCIM, the School of Journalism, and our student media organizations can bring it back, at least for our community. The industry has changed dramatically. Traditional media is struggling, student media is struggling. But at Unified Media, we've been adapting. When print advertising declined, we found ways to keep the doors open and keep students learning. We created the agency to not only offer professional experiences for our students, but to bring in new revenue to fund our partners in editorial. My professional career was as a news designer and creative director. I would have never expected that I would be running business operations for anything. But if my part in all of this is scraping for every dollar to ensure that each new group of students has the opportunity to learn their craft and tell important stories, I'll take it. To the Alumni Society, the faculty, our students, and everyone who supports what we do, thank you.
Betsy, you forgot something. That's just how she is. She doesn't do it for the trophies. The Marilyn Weaver Scholastic Journalism Award recognizes outstanding contributions to scholastic journalism. The National Award is named in honor of Marilyn Weaver, retired former workshops director and chairperson of the Department of Journalism. She is also a member of the Journalism Hall of Fame. We are honored to have Marilyn Weaver here with us today. Marilyn, would you please stand to be recognized? This year's winner of the Marilyn Weaver Scholastic Journalism Award is Lauren Wagner. Lauren has spent the past 2 decades dedicated to empowering student journalists and strengthening scholastic journalism across Indiana. As an advisor, mentor, and leader, she has guided award-winning student publications and helped expand journalism education opportunities statewide. Her leadership with the Indiana High School Press Association revitalized programs and fostered connection and support among advisors and students alike. Lauren's work reflects an enduring belief in the power of journalism education to build confidence, amplify student voices, and prepare young people to engage thoughtfully with their world. For her outstanding achievements in journalism education, we proudly present Lauren Wagner the Marilyn Weaver Scholastic Journalism Award.
All right, thank you so much. This means a great deal to me coming from Ball State, where is really where I got my start and my roots in journalism education. I am here because I, probably like so many of you, had a journalism teacher who saw something in me that I didn't yet see in myself, and encouraged me to attend Ball State's J-Day in high school, and then the summer workshops. And from that point on, I fell in love with journalism, and then the careers of teaching as well. And decided to go here, had a great experience here, and I really appreciate Ball State's commitment to supporting student journalism. I want to thank my school administration and community. It's incredibly supportive of student media, and my husband as well, who totally gets why I love my job so much, but doesn't see me maybe as much as he wants to. We met at Ball State as well, so that's another nice connection. I really feel strongly that the students who are able to take student media and work in journalism at the high school level. It's oftentimes their first real effort at exercising their First Amendment rights intentionally, and it's very empowering for them. It's so cool to see in the classroom, to see them grow, to see them to do work that matters in the school community, and it energizes me every day, and I have a ton of hope for the future. Since I am in a room full of media professionals, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't say that if you ever have the opportunity to work with young people, to work with student journalists, please take it, whether it's speaking at a workshop, mentoring someone. I had that mentor when I was in high school, and especially today when I think it's tough for young people to maybe even consider journalism or media as a viable career field. I think they need to hear from successful journalists and people in the media profession to imagine themselves having success in that world and imagine that as a viable option for them. So would encourage you all to do that as well. Thank you so much to Ball State and to the Writing Awards Committee. This truly means a great deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. The school partners with the SJSC Alumni Society Board of Directors each year to recognize faculty, alumni, and friends who are making a lasting mark on the industry and support our students and school initiatives. We are grateful to have several members from the Alumni Society Board of Directors here today. Please stand as I call your name. Rick Martinez. Eddie Metzger. Monica Miller. Taylor Williams. Casey Smith. And our faculty representative, Dr. Gabriel Tate. Did I leave anyone out? Good. Now to the awards. The Young Alumni Awards recognize outstanding achievements, significant recognitions, or accomplishments of our alumni and former student media workers under 36 years of age. This year, the Journalism Alumni Society is proud to recognize 2 recent graduates with Young Alumni Awards. The first is Tyson Bird. Tyson has built a career centered on journalism, design, and technology. As editorial manager for the American City Business Journals, he leads an AI-driven newsroom initiative. He leads AI-driven newsroom innovation, designing tools that improve workflow and elevate storytelling across the company. Previously, as digital product manager for Texas Highways Magazine, the Ball State Daily News alumnus worked to grow the publication's digital audience from 150,000 to more than 2.5 million. He spearheaded an award-winning website redesign, my daughter's calling, recognized by the Society of Publication Designers, as well as the City and Regional Magazine Association. Tyson continues to embody the values of SJSC. His innovative work shows how digital strategy and journalistic integrity can coexist to strengthen the future of news. For his outstanding achievements in digital journalism, we proudly present the Young Alumnus Award to Tyson Bird.
Thank you, Johnny. I'd like to start by saying what an honor and privilege it is to be recognized with this award. I am the third person from Little Sandpoint, Idaho, to come to Ball State and be recognized with the Young Alumni Award, which just means a tremendous deal. You know, we've heard a lot today about what Ball State has done for the people in this room, and I'd like to shift gears and tell you about some of the things that Ball State has not done for me in my life and career. For example, Muncie did not prepare me for the price of a drink in the real world. The phrase penny pitchers does not exist outside of the village. I will not elaborate. Ball State did not prepare me for college sports during the 8 years that I lived in Austin, Texas. My first fall in Austin, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to go check out a football game? At that time, Big 12, now SEC. It turned out I was about a year late to purchase a ticket to a Texas football game. Ball State did not give me a big head or an attitude about the craft of journalism. That was the work of Johnny Sparks. But in all seriousness, one of the things I appreciate the absolute most about this institution is that our core belief is in storytelling, and we recognize that the degree says journalism, the work can take many different forms. In student media, immersive learning, and just regular classwork, I was exposed to a ton of different platforms and practices. My classmates have gone on to work for national publications, at local TV stations, and everything in between. Some work as social media influencers, some work at nonprofits, and some work in other disciplines entirely. But the thing they do every day is tell stories and impact their community. That's to say that Ball State journalism did not prepare me for just one type of job, and for that I'm eternally grateful. The School of Journalism and Communication did not teach me how to run digital product at a Texas travel magazine during a pandemic when people were encouraged not to travel and not visit small communities that we covered. It didn't teach me how to build AI projects for newsrooms across the country. In fact, when I was a student, the only AI we said was, "Hey, I thought you were going to penny pitchers tonight." But Ball State did teach me how to code. It taught me how to work across teams. It taught me how to design things that work for readers, audiences, and people that actually need these products. It taught me how to fact check, how to be ethical, and how to be innovative. These are the skills that I use every day. Ball State did not prepare me for the impact that this institution would have on my entire life. The people in this room who I see are instructors who I still learn from today, mentors who open doors for me, dear friends I have grown up with and am still in contact with, and by this time next year, my wife. Ball State's name carries tremendous weight in our industry, and I am truly humbled to receive this award. It is not an easy time to work in journalism. It is not an easy time to teach journalism. Our industry is under intense pressure and constant change. But for that, Ball State did prepare me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tyson. Our second Young Alumni Award goes to Leanne Richardville. Leanne has built an impressive career at Hirons and Company Communications in Indianapolis. Since joining Hirons, she has advanced through a series of leadership roles and now serves as Vice President of Marketing and Communications. She leads strategic planning, branding, and communication initiatives that drive Hirons' growth and reputation. Her work has helped shape the agency's identity and solidify it as one of Indiana's most respected firms. As a leader, Leanne is guided by a philosophy rooted in collaboration, accountability, and professional development. She is deeply committed to cultivating emerging marketing and communications professionals, encouraging them to think critically, act strategically, and approach every challenge with creativity and purpose. Leanne credits Debbie Davis, her former Ball State professor and advisor at Cardinal Communications, with helping launch her career and shaping her professional foundation. Today, she continues to embody SJSC's values of collaboration, creativity, and service, the heart of her leadership. For her outstanding achievements in strategic communication, we proudly present the Young Alumni Award to Leanne Richardville.
I too brought notes. All right. Thank you for the introduction, Johnny. I'll be honest, when Johnny called to share the news that I was receiving this recognition, I was both shocked and deeply honored. If my memory serves, it was just after returning from maternity leave, and our baby wasn't exactly sleeping through the night. At that point, I could barely remember which way was up, let alone process that the alma mater that gave so much to me, both personally and professionally, was recognizing me in this way. Ball State has always been a place that builds storytellers, people who understand the responsibility that comes with shaping messages, inspiring change, and helping others be heard. During my time on campus, I had the privilege of learning from professors like Debbie Davis, who challenged me to explore new ideas and think critically. And she also opened the door that led me to Hirons, where I've had the joy of working alongside passionate, purpose-driven communicators for over a decade. A few of my colleagues are also here today, so quick shout out to Dina, Hannah, and Nia. At Hirons, our mantra is to be bold, and that spirit really mirrors what the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication is about, helping students find their voice and using it to make a difference. One of the greatest joys of my career has been staying connected to Ball State. From hosting student tours at our office, to talking to students at CCIM Plus Career Days, to coordinating guest lectures. And I'm proud that Hirons continues to invest in the next generation of storytellers through the Dr. Jim Parham Scholarship, named after one of our former CEOs. Before I get off the stage, I have to shout out two people that are here today with me. My boss and friend, Dina Hayworth, who received this very award in 2010. Her leadership at Hirons and continued service both to Franklin College and Ball State University has been a constant source of inspiration. And of course, to my amazing husband, Zach. He's a graduate of the Miller College of Business here and served on the Young Alumni Council until late last year when we welcomed our first son, Henry. Congratulations to all the award recipients, and thank you again to the educators in the room who continue to open doors, foster curiosity, and help the next generation find their own bold voice. Thank you.
The Outstanding Journalism Alumni Award, one of the school's highest honors, recognizes graduates whose professional achievements and community leadership embody Ball State's enduring values. Johnny Smith Jr. joins a distinguished line of honorees whose careers reflect integrity, innovation, and public impact. Johnny currently serves as the global head of diagnostics communications at Roche, one of the world's leading healthcare and biotechnology companies. In this role, he leads global communication strategies that advance innovation, strengthen trust, and amplify the organization's impact across the globe. Under his leadership, Roche has enhanced transparency in diagnostics innovation and strengthened engagement across more than 100 markets. His work has been recognized within Roche through multiple global communications leadership honors, reflecting his ability to connect science, purpose, and people. Throughout his career, Johnny has exemplified leadership, mentorship, and service. During his time at St. Vincent's, Indianapolis, he served on the board of Saving Orphans Through Healthcare and Outreach, a nonprofit providing healthcare and educational resources to children in southeastern Africa. His board service helped expand community partnerships and elevate the organization's visibility, an enduring example of his commitment to the purpose-driven communication and global citizenship. His career stands as a testament to the belief that communication, at its best, can bridge understanding and inspire meaningful change. Beyond his professional life, Johnny finds his greatest pride in being a husband and father. Together with his wife, Kristen, he is raising 3 children who inspire him daily to lead with compassion and authenticity. A proud SJSC alumnus, Johnny has remained deeply connected to the university community. He returned to campus as the Schron's Distinguished Lecturer in 2024, sharing insights on leadership in global healthcare communication, and served as the CCIM Summer 2025 commencement speaker, where he encouraged graduates to use storytelling as a force for positive change. He also continues to mentor emerging professionals through Ball State's Cardinal Connect program, fostering the next generation of communicators who lead with integrity and curiosity. For his contributions to the field of strategic communication, we proudly present Johnny Smith Jr. with the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
Thank you, Johnny. I just want to say something first because I thought we were friends. There's a lady to the far right there who's my wife. He called her Kristen. If I don't mention her name is Keisha. I won't be able to get home today. So, Keisha, we love you dearly. I just want to thank just Ball State, President Mearns, thank you. Hall of Fame basketball star, Dr. Kristen, thank you. Johnny Sparks, I love your name and I love your haircut. You look outstanding today. As well as Dr. Tate, thank you for allowing me to engage with your students this morning as well. So this is interesting. I've got 2 other sons and they're in school right now and they're in the youth sports. So I've got an Instagram account. And all of my algorithms are around youth sports. So it's just riveting, right? So, you know, kids doing drills and soccer and baseball and all the great things that you all will be excited about. But there was this one post, and the post said, "Keep showing up." And I just reflected on that. How do we keep showing up for our friends, for our family, for our loved ones, for our colleagues, for our fellow students? And then I started thinking again, I'm standing here today because you all showed up for me, and I thank you.
I'm sorry, Keisha. I knew I was wrong as soon as I read it. I struggled through the rest of it after. Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. I love my job. The second Outstanding Alumni Award goes to Jeffrey Forticella, who is accepting his award virtually. For nearly 2 decades, Jeffrey has devoted his career to educating, informing, and inspiring others through the craft of photojournalism. Since joining the New York Times in 2013, he has served as a photo editor and now as senior photo editor, championing innovative storytelling and amplifying the voices of underrepresented communities. His editorial leadership has shaped visual coverage across major national and political stories, helping audiences engage more deeply with the events that define our time. His editorial contributions have earned widespread recognition, including Visual Editor of the Year honors from Pictures of the Year International in 2019, 2020, and 2021. He has also been recognized by the NPPA Best of Photojournalism competition as Newspaper Visual Editor of the Year in 2019, Digital Editor of the Year in 2020, and Newspaper Editor of the Year 2023. A remarkable series of distinctions reflecting consistent excellence and innovation in his field. Before joining the Times, he honed his skills in regional newsrooms and advanced through editorial roles at Sporting News magazine and the Associated Press, experiences that shaped his approach to precision and storytelling integrity. He credits his time at BSU, where he served as head photo editor for the Ball State Daily News, as the foundation of his professional discipline and creative vision. For his outstanding contributions to the field of visual journalism, we proudly present Jeffrey Ferticella with the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Ferticella, a senior photo editor at the New York Times, contributing to the reports of the Washington, D.C. and politics teams. I work with visual journalists worldwide on everything from national elections to deeply reported investigations to immersive multimedia enterprise. I'm profoundly honored to receive the Outstanding Journalism Alumnus Award, and I sincerely regret that I couldn't be there in person to celebrate today. The aforementioned national elections and a one-year-old at home both teamed up to be a formidable barrier to travel. Thank you to Ball State University and the dedicated members of the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication and its Alumni Society. I also want to specifically thank Dr. Johnny Sparks for this prestigious recognition. This award is deeply personal because the roots of my career run right through this campus. Ball State has been a formative part of my life since high school. My first visit here as a student at Munster High School was through a program led by my revered teacher, Nancy Hastings, who advised the newspaper and yearbook staffs and first introduced me to the craft of journalism. That personal connection extends right through my family's enduring commitment to education and to this university. I'm the son of two dedicated educators, Marilyn and Ed Ferticella, who have always supported me and pushed me to pursue my passion. Ball State is truly a family home. I want to particularly acknowledge my mother, who holds 2 master's degrees from here, and my uncle, Professor Mark Popovich, who has enriched the lives of countless students over his long tenure here, including my own. Of course, I wouldn't have even gotten a start in this industry were it not for my professors Ken Heinen, Tom Price, and Ryan Sparrow. They provided the guidance, resources, and professional network that helped me turn my love of photography into a meaningful career in journalism. They taught me to be curious, to fully commit to the work, and to embrace new ideas for telling stories. And even after graduating, this university continued to support me and many other industry leaders during the period when it hosted the esteemed Kalish Editing Workshop. I'm incredibly grateful for this honor. Thank you once again to Ball State, to this program, its faculty and leadership, and most importantly, to my family. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. An important part of today's ceremony is the induction of 2 new members to the Journalism Hall of Fame. I'd like to invite Rick Martinez, Vice President of the Alumni Society Board of Directors, to join me at the podium for the induction. At this time, we will recognize the Hall of Fame members in attendance today. Please stand when I call your name and remain standing. Please hold your applause until we have called all names. First, Gary Graham. That was good hold. David Knott, Julie Metzger, Stephanie Oberman, Mark Popovich, Michael Smith, Daniel Wechter, Marilyn Weaver. Did I miss anyone? Round of applause. We are grateful to each of you. Your presence here today signifies your continued commitment to a legacy of excellence and in support of our mission. Today's inductees have been a vital part of our legacy, as well as pillars for our present and future. The first inductee is Navahor Imamova. For more than 2 decades, Navahor has advanced journalism in Central Asia and beyond, applying ethical professionalism and an editorial rigor to stories of human rights, governance, and societal transformation. Since joining the Voice of America Uzbek service, she has played a pivotal role in its evolution. In 2003, she helped launch Uzbek language television programming and has since hosted more than 1,000 editions of the weekly show, America Manzar Alari. Thank you. Reaching millions of viewers across the region. Her steadfast journalism has given unprecedented visibility to voices long silenced in Uzbekistan, helping foster greater public awareness and dialogue that accompanied the country's 2016 leadership transition and the reforms that followed. From 2016 to 2017, she was selected as an Edward S. Mason Fellow at the Harvard Kennedy School while pursuing a mid-career master's in public administration, further strengthening her professional and diplomatic grounding. She earned her MA in journalism from Ball State University in 2003 and a BA in journalism and mass communication from the University of Mysore in India. Her commitment has earned her broad recognition, including the VOA Gold Medal in 2010, and she is the founding president of the VOA Women's Caucus. On behalf of the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication and the Alumni Society of Ball State, the Alumni Society Executive Board at Ball State University, we proudly induct Navahor Imamova into the Journalism Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Sure, yeah, the 3 of you, right?
I don't have written notes, but I have a lot to say, but I'll keep it short, I promise. Well, what an honor and how lucky I was to have found myself here, in Muncie, Indiana, 24 years ago, as the first ever Uzbek student. And so that was a very exotic experience, of course. But, from a country that has almost had zero legacy with media freedom, no professional schools, and then here I was, discovering America, learning, experiencing real America here. And I also started my career here. My American career actually started on campus because Voice of America hired me from here right after 9/11. And this school is now what I call the best journalism school in the United States, maybe around the world, I could debate, I could make that argument with anybody because I have seen many journalism schools around the world.
I have collaborated with them, I have visited, I have talked, and I have also helped, I can proudly tell you, to foster journalism schools in Central Asia. I have contributed to the launch of various programs, and it takes a lot to build, to establish these kinds of schools. I mean, you know this better than me. It goes beyond funding and just resources. It's hard work, it's tenacity, it's professional dedication to keep this going. So I want to thank all of you who contribute to this process here. And I mean, kudos to all of you who make Ball State so relevant, make us all proud, and have us as part of your community here. But I also want to especially, thank Marlene Weaver, who has been my mentor for nearly 25 years now, sharing her wisdom with me. We keep in touch, and I'm also grateful to Johnny Sparks, who keeps in close touch, involving us, these crazy minds, into all sorts of initiatives that goes on here. And it has become a full tradition for me to come to campus every year, spend as much time as I can, getting in touch with the reality at American universities. Everybody is a walking story, so everything is a professional trip and exploration for me. And I was here right before the presidential election last year, and I went from here all the way to Chicago to do stories about new Americans. And that was also, fascinating. But I find myself incredibly inspired each time I'm on campus. And I like the fact that we have more international students on campus now. Ball State is more global than ever, to the extent that some Ball Staters have now been to Uzbekistan to do joint research and programs. So that makes me incredibly proud. I am also thankful to the faculty members who are so impressive. They bring in so much significant amount of practical and academic knowledge into these classrooms, where we're also welcomed by them to share our knowledge, our success and failure stories, and to have debates with your students, share our experience with them. I'm also grateful to my professors, some of whom I see here, Professor Sumner, Mark Popovich, my academic advisor, Dan Wechter. We have kept in touch over the years. It's nice to hear from them, to stay connected, but it's great to have you celebrate our successes, but it's also great to have you check on us in our darkest moments, and there have been some dark moments this year. I am still formally with the Voice of America, but we've been on admin leave since March. And some of you may know that our agency, U.S. Agency for Global Media, is getting dismantled. And we're fighting back, and so I want to dedicate this honor, this moment, and this is why I'm emotional, because so many journalists lost jobs this year. A lot, actually. And it may not seem as much here, but I have hundreds of colleagues who lost their livelihoods. And I'm sorry, I didn't expect this, but they lost their jobs not because they were failing at their work. They were so good at their work that entire governments got threatened by them. And, we're used to fighting repressive regimes. I mean, my career is all about that. But fighting through information, though. I mean, we're not political activists. We don't do parties. We don't do any advocacy work. We just inform people. But information is power, as you know. And I have seen what it does at the most fundamental levels. It can form new governments. It can destroy governments. It can establish new economic, cultural, social systems. It can bring down, the kind of systems that call themselves to be indispensable. So I guess that's what makes our job so honorable. It's a worthy job to do, and of course we won't stop here. I mean, fine, close our agencies, stop our programming, we start new ones. After all, journalism is about creating safe spaces, first of all, for yourself so that you can operate. So we are trained, and thanks to my training here too, at Ball State, I always create my own security, my own safety around me so that I can freely then operate from anywhere. So we're doing that, and fine, we will launch new programs. We will push on because at the end of the day, everybody wants credible sources of information. including these repressive regimes. And so I invested in that universal fact when I chose this profession, and I've never regretted it. And so thank you for supporting me and many, many journalists like me, and not just, news reporters. We have so many people who are behind the scenes, news directors, video editors, producers, social media editors. We have, one great thing about our field is that we have expanded. We constantly generate new jobs for ourselves, even though, we're constantly pushed back too. So I will continue reporting. I will continue enlightening the audiences about explaining these complex realities around them, driving factors that people need to know. And my job at the end of the day is to make people think. And I think that's where we succeed. And thank you again for your support in this worthy, unique, incredible, fascinating journey. Thank you. From tears to laughs.
Thank you, Nabahor. Our next inductee is Quinn Kleinfelter. Quinn is an acclaimed journalist whose reporting spans local and national beats. As host and senior news editor at WDET 101.9 FM, where he has worked since 1998, Quinn has interviewed presidential candidates, Michigan governors, and Detroit mayors with his stories featured on NPR and the BBC. His work has earned more than 50 journalism awards from organizations including CBS Radio, the Associated Press, the Society of Professional Journalists, and the Wisconsin and Michigan Association of Broadcasters. Recent honors include first place in general news reporting from SPJ Detroit 2024, underscoring a record of sustained excellence. His reporting on Detroit's struggle to bury unclaimed dead helped catalyze a broad public response after he revealed that a homeless friend was among those awaiting burial. Donations surged nationwide, securing final resting places for his friend and many others, an example of journalism converting empathy into action. Quinn credits his education at Ball State University and his MA from the University of Missouri-Columbia with shaping his craft and values. Faculty mentors in journalism and English help him blend rigor and empathy, preparing him to navigate complex stories and connect with people from all walks of life. On behalf of the Ball State University School of Journalism and Strategic Communication and the Alumni Society, we are pleased to induct Quinn Kleinfelter into Ball State's Journalism Hall of Fame.
One of those has got to be good enough. Thank you guys so much for this honor. They told us we had like 2 or 3 minutes, but I talk for a living. So I'm going to try to rein it in and still pontificate a bit. There's so many people from Ball State that have made a lasting impact on my life and my career choices. 2 that have always stood out to me in particular, Fred Blevins had an advanced journalism class that went through about every aspect of writing and design for the written word and how to display it for maximum effect. But more than just teaching the craft, Fred modeled what it was like to be a journalist in the real world. He made you work the way you would be working now. Plus, he had long hair, he was dashing and had a bit of a swagger. I mean, he made journalism cool. He'd worked in Washington during the time of Watergate, too, and he also knew Woodward and Bernstein back in the day. And as I found out when I'd interviewed them myself later on, he was right that Woodward did not really look like Robert Redford from the movies. But, you know, Fred knew from that time and others that some in power would work for their own benefit, not for the public that they were elected to serve. And he made it clear that your job was to ask the hard questions and to press for the answers. I also learned great lessons from my Ball State English professor, Wade Jennings. We talked in his office often after class, not just about classic literature or what makes for a well-written story, but about how to be authentic in your writing and in your life. We heard about RFK Sr. and his speech when Dr. King was killed, which truly is one of the greatest, in my opinion. Wade looked a little bit like John Kennedy, which he would shyly acknowledge. And I lost my father at an early age. He loved RFK Sr. and JFK, so Wade was kind of a surrogate in a variety of ways. When I walked into the Ball State Daily News newsroom when I was just a freshman, there was a sign on the wall. It's a quote, I think, from a Chicago editor from 1861, and it says, "It is a newspaper's duty to print the news and raise hell." And, you know, I mean, the meaning seemed clear. You hold the powerful accountable, and it causes good trouble, well, so be it. Because the role of journalism, I believe, is to be the eyes and the ears and the voice of those who don't get the chance to question those in power, the ones that still have to live with the policies that they set anyway. It's no secret to anybody in this room that journalism is under attack nowadays in a variety of ways. I mean, technological challenges, financial pressures. Certainly, I've spent the vast majority of my career in public broadcasting, and there's no question about the financial difficulties when funding is cut or clawed back, and the reasoning behind it. Is it because someone does not care for what you've said, or thinks that you should not be saying that, and therefore we're going to try to stop it somehow? I mean, it's a violation of free speech, what most of the people here write and talk about as journalists. And now this nation, is so divided now. Again, no secret, and some will play favorites with what facts they do or they do not want to believe, far beyond the times in the past where there were simply different views of what people thought was best for them or for the nation. Now if a fact's uncomfortable or casts somebody in a poor light, then it's dismissed as fake news. There's other facts somewhere on the internet to support what they want to believe. To me, that makes it vital for journalists to ensure not only that you have the story straight, but also that you include all the sides possible. I mean, and this is not just journalism 101, but to try to get all the sides evenly as you can. And if you can dig up your own version of Watergate, then so be it, or McCarthyism. You don't, give that a pass. But if you do the sides as even as you can, I've found that people will eventually find you to be trustworthy, whether it's your local area or nationally or internationally. And then when you do critique somebody, people will put some substance to it because they don't think you have an axe to grind, because they know that you are always trying to be fair. There is a place for advocacy journalism, certainly, especially times like now when there is so much that it seems that we should have to fight. But I've also found in my many interviews with people, from those who are well known to people that feel regularly ignored, that there's still a lot more that people share than people will think. Oftentimes people will laugh at the same thing, no matter who or what or where they're from. If you pinch somebody, they go, ow. They'll cry over the same things. Most people love their kids. There are these things together. And yet right now at this time, so many people feel, that I talk to anyways, that they're living on the edge. Often financially, certainly many times emotionally. And the divisions in our society continue to batter those psyches. So to me, this is a time where journalism needs to be both unflinching and very true to be unbiased in telling stories, and to try to understand as much as possible what truly is driving people to do the things that they do and why, to try to show that, to express that. There's a crying need now more than ever to print the news and raise hell, to hold people accountable that don't want to be held accountable. But I also believe it's a time more than ever not to necessarily find common ground, but to find the common humanity that binds all of us together. Because journalism can do more than just keep a journal of the truth, as far as we can determine it. It can reveal how society could move forwards towards a brighter future rather than be defeated by the darkness of division. Thank you.
Thank you, Quinn. Congratulations to Navajora and Quinn on their induction. Now, I would like to invite current student Ava Monroe to share her story.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say it's such an honor to be here today representing this student voice at this year's luncheon. When I first arrived at Ball State, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted out of my college experience. I knew I wanted to learn, to grow, to find a sense of direction, but like most students, I didn't know yet what that would look like. Over the past 4 years in the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication, I've found that sense of direction, and so much more. I discovered a community that's pushed me to do more than just earn a degree. I found mentors who challenge me, classmates who support me, and opportunities that have helped me see what I'm capable of. One of the ways I've experienced that growth is through my work as a student assistant in the SJSC office. That role has allowed me to be involved in many different parts of the school and see how everything comes together behind the scenes. As an SJSC student ambassador, I help welcome prospective students and their families to the school and assist with recruitment efforts at preview days. Each year, I've had the chance to design certificates and promotional materials for our annual Louis Awards, as well as help with events like this luncheon. Through those experiences, I've come to appreciate how much happens beyond the classroom, the collaboration, the creativity, and the care that go into making the school such a supportive environment. I'm grateful to have such a unique role that's allowed me to connect with faculty, staff, and students in meaningful ways. Writing this speech has made me realize how much the school has helped me grow into a leader, even if it's often a quiet, behind-the-scenes kind of leadership. And that's why gatherings like today mean so much. Events like this remind us that education doesn't end when we leave campus. The impact of our alumni and friends is woven into every part of the School of Journalism, through scholarships, mentorship, and the example you set in your communities and careers. Whether you realize it or not, students like me are watching and learning from your stories every day. I am so incredibly thankful for the support students like me receive through scholarships and other gifts made possible by our alumni and friends. That generosity allows us to focus more on learning, growing, and taking advantage of the opportunities that makes Ball State so special. As I look towards graduation, I hope that one day I can contribute to future students' experiences in the same way so many of you have. Thank you for continuing to show what it means to be a part of the School of Journalism and Strategic Communication. Your legacy gives meaning to our work, and your stories remind us of what's possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. So this brings us to the concluding portion of our ceremony today. I want to say how grateful I am to Matt Lowe, our project manager. Where are you, Matt? Matt managed this event, and each day brought new challenges, and he was always excited and happy to tackle those. Thank you again, Matt. To all of the award presenters and awardees, we're very grateful for all of your contributions today. I'm also super grateful to Ava Monroe for designing our print program. Trinity Ray for your assistance in developing today's run of show and the citations. Also thanks to Alex Lukens and UMS back in the back of the room. That had us live streaming around the globe. Thank you for our project team, especially Bethany Sloniker, Bella Bonilla, Sungwon Chung, and Mackenzie Winger. We're grateful to our faculty and the Alumni Society for their contributions, and we are ever so grateful to all of our distinguished guests for their unmatched spirit and support. Usually, as we close these ceremonies, I will say a few words that are prepared that summarize the sort of the state of the school, if you will. This year, at this time, there is no doubt that journalism, strategic communication, and higher education are all facing challenges, a time of flux or upheaval, if you will. But I believe when people ask me, how are things at Ball State University? I believe today is a great example of how things are at Ball State University. From our administration, to our faculty, our students, our staff, our alumni, our donors, we're still showing up for each other. And I have hope. I have hope because of all of you showing up for each other. Thank you all very much, and have a great day.